Hey there, everybody, it's Joshua Bardwell here. You're going to learn something today. It's time for another one of my one-on-one troubleshoots where I get on the phone, get on the internet with one of you and try and help you solve a problem that you're having. And I was really excited to do this one because it pertains to servo output, which is, some would say, a feature that nobody uses, but a few people do use it, and it is really hard to figure out how to set it up. So I dove into this one with gusto, but there was a catch. It turns out that James was using iNav and not Betaflight, and it turns out that the iNav setup for servos is different than Betaflight. And what I want to tell you is this. I had no idea what I was doing, so a good part of this video is me just randomly trying things. I'll edit it down so I don't waste your time, but we do get it working in the end. So think of this not so much as a tutorial of how to set up servos in iNav, but more a example of how, with enough persistence and kind of an analytical thinking, you could just figure something like this out. Yeah, okay, let's go. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself, James? Who are you? Where are you? And why are we doing this call today? What's the problem we're going to try to solve?
So I'm James and I'm from New Zealand, and my problem is setting up servo output on a quadcopter on iNav.
Yeah, you're trying to do servos on iNav, and this is a topic that I've wanted to cover for a long time. It's actually it's a more common question than you would think. Well, not you probably, but and people might think. I always hear people say, "Oh, servo, get servo out of there." Nobody uses that. But people semi-regularly ask me, "How do you set up servos in Betaflight?" And it's fairly complicated.
Yeah,
And I've never
like,
had a quad with servos on it, so we're going to try and do it today and see if we can finally make a video documenting how to do it.
yeah. I don't actually need a physical servo. It's just the PWM output I need. So
Yeah.
I might not
Well,
need a physical servo, but
so what is it you're actually trying to do?
um, I've got a camera switcher for a
Got it.
drone here that lets me flick between two different cameras,
Uh-huh.
and it needs a PWM output as far as I'm aware for it to work.
Yeah. And
Designed to
for
plug in.
for those who may not know, PWM is the signal that drives a servo and controls servo position if you're doing something like a fixed wing, like you're the control surface of a fixed wing, or a gimbal if you have a gimbal. Or you can use that same PWM output, in this case, to switch between two cameras on a camera switcher. So your quad actually has two cameras on it?
Yeah,
Like
I've
where
got
one faces forward, obviously. Where's the other one face?
also forward. One's I've got one for up here,
Oh,
and then I can
nice.
have a video and down, have them face in two
Nice.
different ways.
Nice. So what you've done there is correct. You're trying to map the RC channel to the servo. That's correct. The hard part that trips people up is usually the command line where you map the physical servo to the pin. Have you
Yep.
try this? Do this. Do this. Do this. Put for all of those. No, sorry. Go back to the servos tab.
Ah, yep. Oh,
Do this. So aux channels, whatever. Channel 7 is the channel you're using.
yeah. I was running out of buttons on my controller. I didn't really find any ones that I wanted.
Yeah. So take and put all of the servos on channel 7. Just put channel 7 on all the servos and save that. I see. We may not be able to use an arbitrary servo number because depending on your mixer type, it may assign the servos manually. So we have to figure out which servo number is going to work.
Yeah.
Go ahead, go to the CLI.
Yeah.
What does our servo output look like now? Yeah. We still don't have. Type SMix. No SMixes. So if we type, so try typing this, smix 0,
Space 0 or
yeah, smix 0, hang on, space, wait, 0, 0,
is there a space 0 or 0?
yeah, smix 0, 0, then 10, and then 100, and then 0. 10 space 100 space 0. So let's see if it takes that. What is it going to do? Hit enter. Oh, did it take that for real? So the smix will map. Let's try that for all of the servo numbers. So it would be smix 0, 0, smix 1, 1. The next one will be, this is going to be, sorry, smix 1, 1, 10, 100, 0.
Oh.
So basically, the first number is the rule number, the second number is a servo number, and then 10 designates the aux channel, aux 7, and then 100 is a 100% throw and no rate limit. Okay, so yeah, hit enter. And let's keep doing that. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's just see how many servos are there.
Oh, there were heaps. There were like at least 6. Oh, it'll
okay,
say it
let's
there,
do.
won't it?
What's
7.
that?
There's
Okay,
7.
let's do that for all 7 servos. And basically, this is just like my approach. It's just throwing it at the wall. We don't know the right servo number, so I'm just going to assign all of them and just see if I can get some output from the pin. And then once you do that, we can back it off and figure out which one actually is working.
Yeah.
Did they get wiped? No, they're there. And type servo. And that's all there. So I think we should see if now the aux channel is controlling the output of the pin. I mean, have we just kind of stumbled through and made it work?
Hopefully.
How are you going to test it? Have you got you're just going to use the switcher?
Well, I guess to use the switch, I have to have my goggles on to see if the cameras are changing. So.
Does it have an indicator like an LED?
It does actually.
Yeah. Or if you even just had a spare servo you could use.
I don't. I've got this is the 89 camera.
Yeah.
Sorry, controller.
Yeah.
And I've got it set to that one.
Okay.
And I don't know if you can see inside.
Uh-huh. It looks like image, yeah, I think. It's a little hard to tell, but I'll take your word for it. Have you got image?
Do you see it changing?
I do.
I'm changing it. See, that's...
Oh, it's working. Is it working? Is it working for real?
Hold up. I've got one camera, so I'm trying to figure out which camera's which. So
yeah, but when you throw the switch, it goes from one to the other, right?
So I'm currently getting the run cam split camera on the bottom.
Uh-huh.
Now if I slowly move the so it seems I'm not getting the owl camera.
Yeah, but hang on. When you're flipping the switch though, it's flipping
between gray screen and
so the camera isn't wired up right, but the switcher is working.
Yeah.
We did it. Okay. Well, there you go. So here's what I think you should do next.
Yeah.
What I would suggest you do is go. Hang on. How do I get your? I need to get your. Yeah, there we go. So back in iNav, if you want to, I mean, you could just, frankly, you only have one servo. It's not like this is a fixed wing where you need so you could just leave it. But what I would do, because I'm kind of like that, is I would go to the CLI, to the CLI, and I would remove one of those S mixes at a time. So S mix, I don't actually even know how you delete an S mix, frankly, but I
Do you
would
set it back
delete.
to 0? Or-
I don't. I mean, you can actually delete them. They weren't even there. Never mind being zeroed out. How do you delete an X? I'm sure you can look it up. But
Yeah,
if you look, I would delete them one by one until it stops working, and then that'll tell you what servo number is being mapped to this output, and then you'll
yeah.
know, okay, it's servo number 6 or whatever, and then you can only have the rules that actually apply to you. So yeah,
My other question
yeah,
is also,
yeah.
if it's flicking between one and then flicking to grey screen, could it be that my PWM signal is out of range for the other one?
I suspect not, because the way these usually work is if the PWM is above 1500, it's one. If it's below 1500, it's the other. So there's really no. I think that's unlikely. I think your second camera isn't. Gray screen usually means just your camera isn't wired up.
Yep.
I still don't know how to set up servos in iNav, but I know how to throw stuff at the wall until something comes out, and I guess
Yeah.
it worked this time.
So
All right.